$4.79 a sign.
Okay.
Joe's bugging out. He's had enough of the traffic, he's leaving.
I know. That is short-term rentals.
Okay, you're live.
Okay, thank you, Jenna. Welcome to the makeup session from the previous non-quorum. Fortunately, we have quorum. I apologize, we have come on late. Would you call a roll call, please, and call to order?
Ms. Burkett. Mr. Fink.
Here.
Mr. Kinter.
Here.
Mr. Rideout. Mr. Vandenberg.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Good.
Comments on it?
Mr. Fink.
Yes.
Mr. Kinter.
Yes.
Mr. Vandenberg.
Yes.
Okay, under new business, no old business. Under new business is, let's discuss 83 Center Street, which is the applicant Shane Lasby on behalf of Liquor Finders and Safaris.
Motion for accelerated?
Okay.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Do you want to come up and introduce yourself for the record? Because we're recording all of this.
Yes, sir.
So give us.
It's going on YouTube, right?
There you go.
Shane couldn't be here, unfortunately. My name's Jonathan. I work for Brook Signs under Shane. It's a pretty simple sign package, nothing too crazy, nothing illuminated or anything like that. The posts we're going to keep that are out there, that are existing. We're going to sand them down, we're going to paint them, we're going to put the address on the street side posts, if you will. And we'll take down the manual reader board and everything that's currently in between the posts. Like I said, we'll come back out, sand, prime, paint, and then we'll install the two signs there, which are double-sided, using some aluminum stringers, rust resistant, all that good stuff. The backgrounds for each sign are going to be painted, and the graphics are going to be either printed or vinyl flat graphics, so nothing dimensional or anything like that.
And no illumination.
No, sir.
I don't have anything.
There's room for a third business on there if it's so required.
Yes, sir.
I know there is a third occupant in those building premises that are also interested potentially when they finally get their lease sorted out of being to advertise it.
Yes, sir.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.
And I don't imagine that that exceeds any of the minimum criteria. Do you have any questions?
I'm good.
I apologize for you having to wait a couple of different things. It's summer and those things happen. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
okay, if you'd like to call.
Mr. Fink.
Yes.
Mr. Kinter.
Yes?
Mr. Vandenberg.
Yes.
Okay, 74 Sandbar Lane. Hunter, how are you? Good to see you
Thanks,
again.
appreciate it.
Glad you made it for being here and all those good things. If you, before I get into you, let's kind of have a motion to discuss. Is this going to be this is final, right?
Yes.
Final review.
And I'm recusing.
So motion to review.
Okay, second. Can we still continue with him
Yeah.
recusing? Okay.
If
All
you have a
right.
quorum when you start.
Perfect.
If you have a quorum when you start, you can still recuse
Okay,
himself.
that's fine. So Hunter, go ahead and talk to about the latest thing you're trying to get accomplished here. I appreciate all the detail you've sent in advance to it.
Yes, sir. So I'm Hunter Schimpf, I'm the owner. I'll note on the site design, nothing has really changed. I would just call attention to the second page right here, the landscape design, which I understand is not required, but we gave it to you anyway. We're hoping to add an outdoor shower, similar to the picture here, as noted. And then we also noted that the pool patio will either be a travertine tile or potentially an epay or nice wood decking material. Those are really the only changes. We've added a projected electrical plan at the end for the exterior. I brought paint samples for you all to see, going with a Sherwin-Williams blue, called Bass Skies, the exterior.
Baby blue.
This is supposed to be the trim that will be on the windows and the side trim. And then we expect to do this as the porch ceiling, That is the porch floor. So it's kind of a
It's nice.
simple, soft, kind of beach type color scheme. And then you have the picture of the doors, kind of a light wood stain finish on the front doors. Both the first floor and the second floor, both will have doors leading to the exterior front porches. And then gave you a picture of the lights that we intend to use. So we did some research on those, and we intend to use the amber bulbs with light pointing down, which I understand to be more turtle friendly. Even though we're not on the beach or close to the beach, we still want to try to be consistent with the aesthetic on Folly, select lights that are friendly for happy to answer any questions. Go ahead.
Are you the architect of this? Are you involved in the architecture of the design?
Tangentially.
I don't see any major changes. I think the things you brought was what we asked you to do before you went to find. Joe, any comments or questions?
No, I think it looks great.
Do you have any projected start or anything on this?
We are going through structural engineering right now. The structural engineer is somewhat backlogged. So we hope maybe by the end of August that will be finished to then start applying for permits with the city. And I'm not really sure how long that takes these days, 30, 60 days. So hopefully maybe breaking ground September, October, but it's all depending on when we can get permits.
Okay, Jennifer, any staff comments or anything you want to make relative to final review?
Everything passes zoning's approval.
Okay. Nothing else, Alan? Well, you're out anyway. Joe, anything else?
No, good.
Okay, call it.
Okay, Mr. Fink,
Yes.
Mr. Vandiver.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
We worked through this process.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, 11 Center Street, St. James Gate. Conceptual approval for improvements. Can I have a motion to discuss?
Moved.
Second. Okay. Who do we have for St. James Gate?
I'm Pat Corpus. I'm here on behalf of Neil Stevenson Architects and the owner of St. James Gate, Mr. John.
John Teeman.
John, how are you?
How you doing? Thank you all for having a meeting today after the last one was canceled. Really appreciate you getting together.
We did get it put together.
Sure,
Folly
no,
Sons is 1 week
and
later.
Hearing us and everybody else. We're planning an improvement, renovation, a little bit of a modification to the existing patio and porch area that are out there. I believe everybody has seen some iteration of this last year about this time. We started the process. There were a couple of comments that came out of that meeting. We've taken those into account and actually ended up revising some things based on some of those comments. So we took a couple steps back and are starting the process over because the whole plan has changed quite a bit.
Okay.
At least from the improvements standpoint. So in the package you have in front of you, you do have all the existing pictures that show that backspace. So what we're planning to do now is make it more of a 2-story patio space, deck area, including an outdoor bar area up top, seating area below, and on the second level as well. The dessert trailer has already been approved. I believe that's on site.
Yeah.
So that part of it, and then we'd like to clean up the parking area, waste area, which right now is just kind of in that back area. So
Yeah.
you want to push it back.
Dumper City back there, right
Yeah.
down
And
Yeah,
just
it's a
clean
bit
it up.
of a wasteland out there, so
there. True.
they get it tidied up.
So the overall architecture of everything very much mimics the building that's there now, the main building. We've carried a lot of the detailing throughout, mimicking some of the stone. It is a little bit different material, but it's going to mimic and match the stone as much as possible. So there's a wall detailing and traditional Irish elements. And then really bring that metal roof, that existing metal roof, bring that over. So it's very similar detailing and architecture, just on a smaller scale for the space. And then keep that, we want to keep that openness of the outdoor patio. So everything's a cable rail. One of the comments from the previous meeting was the planter around the rail, keep rings from falling over. We incorporated that. And think that was a great little addition to dress it up right on that main corridor, main corner of Folly Beach.
So this is a conceptual.
Conceptual, and then the next item, I think, is for.
Yes, we put him on the agenda for both conceptual and preliminary to approve conceptual, and he'd like to move on to preliminary today also.
Okay.
Could you point out, I'm a little confused about what the gravity of the changes are.
The changes from the existing, or the changes from last time?
Oh, no, just the difference between what's there now and what you're proposing to do.
Right now is a grade level patio area. It's simply seating.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you're gonna roof this whole back.
So the current structure is not going to allow a second level on it, so we have to take down most of the structure, and then we're redoing the ground level patio and building a second level patio. But the second level will include a circuit bar area.
And the roof will be continuous across from
And then
the
the
original.
roof will go over the bar area, a couple of new bathrooms up on the second floor.
I don't see that in these drawings.
A21 is the one we're both looking at.
A 1.1 shows a site plan showing some of the first floor changes, and then A 1.2 shows the first floor plan and the second level plan as well.
Well, A 2.1 also is a better presentation, is a good presentation of a change from the existing
Yeah,
elevation to the
Get a
proposed.
good idea of the verticality of everything from each point.
I must be looking at the wrong thing. I don't see a second floor on here.
Well, right now, this is open down here.
Here's existing, so
That's what mine is too. It's just.
I got, this is 2.1.
I mean, it's different in its hatch fill. See
Right.
how this is lighter?
This is what you're supposed to have.
Oh, now that really looks like a second story addition.
Yeah, now it looks a little
okay.
bit different. I don't know why yours printed that way, but
Yeah.
mine didn't.
You've got a drawing poltergeist, because this is 2.1.
Yeah, no,
So
this
does
is the same submittal that we sent you, so I don't know what happened on the movement.
Jenna, how
Are
many
you-
demerits does that,
You know,
does
sometimes
that cost?
Just
or-
one.
Just one demerit? Okay, you're still in the game, but it's
Yeah.
getting close.
Can we make a note on that if it's approved to it's these drawings, not those drawings?
Okay,
Yeah.
this is interesting.
Yeah, I
just
think we should look at
together.
this.
Yeah,
I
are your
think this
floor
is
plans correct? Can you look at-
Mm,
Oh, yeah,
I didn't see a second floor.
that's the 2 point.
I see a site.
Yeah, so you guys don't have the A 1.2.
No. Looks like we'll have to,
No,
go
we
to
gotta-
all
You don't
this.
have
one.
a file that we can like throw up on the screen or
I
anything.
cannot
you know?
do that. I don't have that ability.
Well, let's just share this. Let's share yours.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that one, but
Bring it in.
yeah, sorry guys.
Okay, so can we just run through, let's
So-
get rid of my set and run through yours.
So
to
let's
eliminate-
run through this again. So I believe you did have the 1.1 file, which shows the site plan. So the existing site plan does have some spaces back there that quote unquote fit some parking, but it's really not laid out that way. It's got a dumpster kind of in the center, and on the pictures you can see how it's laid out. So we're planning to move everything back a little bit. I think the city no longer requires parking downtown, but we do have those spaces there. So the first floor, we're just kind of keeping the open seating, moving some of the storage areas over a utility room, and then the dessert bar here has already been approved and on site and functional.
So the parking is not required there, right?
That's my understanding is the zoning ordinance no longer requires parking.
Because it's on Center Street facing.
Yeah. I'll throw out a thought for you guys. One of the things I think that helps the whole downtown areas whenever we do something to hide the garbage receptacles. And you've got that area there with that dumpster and plenty of rollouts and stuff, and think about it around.
May I approach?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I've done in the meantime is, you're obviously familiar with the back of the pub there. On the other side of the laneway, that white fenced area where the garbage cans are,
Right.
we actually have that space now.
Okay.
So I'll be taking that dumpster out of there
Okay.
and making it, nice and clean.
Right. Okay.
We're gonna use that for our garbage now.
Okay. All right.
So we can show
put a
that in the
screen
next
off then.
iteration, if we do get for
You know
final.
the white, where all the garbage cans are right now?
Right. That's from that place next door.
That was Sir Bar, yeah. I just it went under contract last month with the owners of those little chalets.
Yeah.
Joey, we just contracted that, so we
Okay.
picked up the contract for that.
Okay.
Sir Bar didn't want it, so.
Okay. I gotcha.
And that way we can get rid of that dumpster because it's ugly
Right.
outside again.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
So as for the first floor, it is very similar. We're actually gonna add 2 bathrooms on the interior because the new walk-in space is gonna remove 2 bathrooms. So we're just moving them. We have plenty of bathrooms upstairs. We're adding 2 more upstairs along with a serving bar and more seating along the outside of the rail. So then this will overlook.
So that's,
This is like the nightclub space, right? So you come up, you're moving the stair over to here.
So there's an outdoor stair that we're moving, and then there's an indoor stair that we are not touching anything really on the interior. So
I
that's the
see.
second floor.
Oh, I didn't realize that thing was there. Okay. I haven't been out in a while.
Not the nightclub scene. So yeah, and the stair will be more to code than it currently is, and meet all requirements for exiting and egress as appropriate.
yeah, you'll have to have that requirements met.
So this is just railing. You're saying
Along there is
this rail right
so
here is gonna have some thickness to it?
we got these renderings back yesterday, so we didn't have time to submit them. I don't know if that neon open sign's gonna be there, but.
I see. So you're continuing this band,
Yeah.
Right, yep,
this bottom, kind of
exactly.
bottom band.
We're trying
here
to
around.
continue a lot of the detailing, a lot of the same height elements and
Can we see
transition
that?
it over, yeah. There should be a few.
So
in
that
there
bottom
as well.
band rolls into the rail for the outdoor space, right?
Goes,
There might be a few. Let's see if there's a better one that I'll pull up.
How high is that rail?
It is a 3-foot handrail with a 42-inch planter.
so this is just gonna be seating down here, right?
Yep, that's all I'm seeing. So this is a little bit better view, a little bit higher up, so you can see that 7th floor area a little bit better.
Right.
But the intent's to match the existing roof in material and color.
Oh, that's
It's definitely going to be a little bit lower, but to try to match a lot of the existing detailing on the building itself and just carry it over to make it look like.
So that's all open air for the most part.
Yeah, outside of the bar obviously will be
Sure.
lockable and closable, and then the bathrooms themselves, everything else will remain open.
Cool.
Well,
Makes sense.
And we can submit the renderings too now that we have them with them to you.
I can email that to you.
okay. You want to rush your trash bag?
And then I did have a railing detail to show you with the 3-foot.
Okay, so it has to meet that.
Ledge and then the 42-inch.
Well, that planter, okay, so the planter's on the outside. So
Right,
You can still put right there, or you can still put a,
A little drink, yeah. 'Cause I believe the concern
important
was
to
drinks
show
falling
the-
falling over onto Ashley, which was a valid
Oh, yeah.
concern. So
Yeah.
this way we get a little bit of a drink
That's a
rail. But
proper Guinness
yeah,
on there.
there you go.
The proper yes. There are no points here.
I don't know. That
To
looks
you.
more like
You
that's more like shot glass size. I don't know if that's a proper
Oh,
Guinness.
really?
in between.
I thought I had that. Oh,
More of a
you're right, it
highball.
is too
It's more,
small.
more of a highball.
There's this thing now called a half pour. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's weird.
A half pour, what do you mean a half pour?
It's half a pint.
Oh, yeah, we have a half pint. So an imperial pint,
Scandalous.
well, an imperial pint we serve imperial pints in the pub. They're
Right.
20-ounce pints. And you get a half pint as well, it's a 10-ounce glass.
I guess it makes some kind of sense.
You know,
Not everybody needs a full 20.
the what?
So not everybody needs a full 20 ounces.
It's good for the D.
Well,
It's good for the DD.
So the American pint is 16 ounces.
Right.
Right? But the imperial pint that you have in Ireland or England or Europe
Right.
is a 20-ounce pint.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
See, those are the things you learn on the NATO too. This is what I did, so I got it.
That's the pint that comes down and has the bump in it.
It's called a nonic glass.
That is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nonic is the name of the glass, and that's what Guinness use, are nonic glasses. And the reason that it's called a nonic, it's no nick, so it won't, it's a little thicker up here, so it won't chip.
Oh, wow. I always thought it was so you wouldn't just drop it when you began.
That maybe
Gives you better grip, you know.
Yeah. We don't drop pints in that.
I have a very good friend that he's a retired military officer, but he's big into the Irish scene, and he has a South Carolina Boykin Spaniel whose name is Guinness. He put those two together, right? Really?
He's not black by any chance. The dog?
He
It's
is.
a black one?
He's a black one. He's a
My-
gorgeous
my-
dog.
My friend had a Labrador,
Yeah.
and he called it Guinness, a black lab.
Too funny.
Called it Guinness as well.
Good idea.
Okay, so this could take us, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, this can take us through conceptual and preliminary.
Yes.
And can we vote on those at the same time?
Let's do two separate
Okay.
votes, and can you, for the record, whoever makes the motion, make sure that it is for the plans that they brought in person today?
That will be forwarded
That will
tomorrow.
be
Right, now
sure
could
you
we
have
reference
the
the
right
fact we viewed the
Yes.
renderings
Yep,
today?
I'll
and
have
those
that
renderings will be
immediately.
sent tonight or tomorrow as well.
Yeah, and you can send a copy of the rendering as well.
Well, if you just make note of that in a minute, I think we're good. Otherwise,
Okay.
Joe, any questions from you, sir?
No.
Al,
I'm good.
call the roll?
Mr. Fink,
Yes.
Mr. Kinter,
Yes.
Mr. Vanderburg.
Yes.
And that was for conceptual
Okay.
approval,
Yep. Now go ahead and
and now preliminary.
call it for the preliminary.
Mr. Fink,
Yes.
Mr. Kinter,
Yes.
and Mr. Vanderburg.
Yes.
He's staring at the.
Well, I thought
at
we
the
were
bump
gonna go
in the
back.
glass. He
I thought
can't
we were gonna
figure-
go back in the preliminary, but what's going on here? Just curious.
Well, they're actually gonna be the same.
Yeah, so there is some existing detailing
remember
here
that.
and here that
Yeah.
we were going to mimic as we go through. These are louvers.
That's just relief-
Yeah, they're
relief
they're
from
louvers
this
to keep
being-
the air movement and everything moving through.
Oh, because this is truck
Mhm.
and that's stair.
Right.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Hold on to
guys.
that one if you
We
want.
appreciate you
Appreciate it.
amplifying it.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.
Thank
What's your
Sorry about-
timing on your project?
I believe we would like to start construction mid-fall, if possible.
Ready for next summer?
Basically.
So right now, the plan is that we're gonna shut pretty much the restaurant for January. We're gonna,
Do the ugly stuff.
yeah, once the season kind of ends at the end of October, we can, if we can get on a engineers list, you know, because they're all backed up, so if we can get them
Just got it wrong.
into our timeline, we could probably start doing some of the outside
so-
stuff in October, November.
I'm not sure what.
And then January, we'll do do the bathrooms inside and move the walk-in box
You
and all
wanted
that
to-
stuff.
Do the guts.
We'll just shut down for the month of January and get all that stuff done.
Okay,
That's the concept.
that's the game, it's game.
But that's what we did last year, right? It didn't work out, so.
Kenna, do you want this hard copy that we talked over,
Sure.
just for the record? Grab meeting minutes. Okay, I think we made a few notes on here, just scribbles, but.
Yeah, you can email it.
Yeah, and I'll probably know everything.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
We're all done?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John, appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank you, guys. Okay, the next agenda item is number 6. It's 106 West Hudson. Applicant Luan Kennedy, Red Holland Realty. Applicant requests accelerated review for the new paint colors. Can I have a motion?
Second.
Do we have someone that's, come on up, sir, introduce yourself, please.
Thank you. Name's Patrick Hampton. I'm a property manager at Fred Holland Realty. Do you want me to come up that way, or where do you want me?
Wherever you're comfortable is fine.
All right.
I think there's a microphone there.
And sorry, I apologize. I just came off another job down the road from here.
Was it more important than this job?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
You made it in time.
Yes,
We were
sir.
late.
So they suggested that they want to flip the colors from the original permit that was done. It was originally a white with red trim. They just want to switch it over to red with white trim for the building. And then along with that, the sign for the Alfredo's restaurant, which is on the far right side of the building when you're facing the front.
Yep.
And then 2 surfboards overcrossing the middle unit, which would be approximately dead center over the doorway.
What is the rationale for going to red building? Is it because the old building used to be Fred Hollins' red roof building?
Effectively, yes. It's nostalgia for the old colors. She went over, she was originally gonna go for the red with white, but then I think she forgot the original permit that was applied for that, and she changed her mind and wanted to go red with white instead. Obviously, that was against the original.
Can you imagine the man changed her mind?
It's a
I don't
beautiful job.
Shocking.
What is this?
This
Is this
their
the sandwich
office.
shop?
This used to be the guy.
Used to be the
that-
witch doctor.
Witch doctor.
Witch
They used to
doctor,
be
so.
witch doctor.
Okay.
So there's the witch doctor, the laundromat in the middle, and then
I
there
get
used to
it
be a variety of businesses where our current office is located.
Okay, I forgot.
And
And you're saying the realty is moving or moved into here?
about 2 years.
Wow,
3 years ago,
okay.
pre-COVID actually.
Yeah, I live on the east side, so you know.
Just as a short, if you recall for just a minute, we went through this when Fred Holland was moving out of the old building. He was
I
gonna tear down the
remember
building.
that, I remember
And
that.
we
Yeah,
opted to only
okay.
have the outbuildings torn down to keep the facade of what is the traditional recognizable building
Right.
coming onto the
I
island.
looked and thought this was the building adjacent to the Catholic Church, the storage.
No, that's,
This
that was
is-
purchased by
This is
Carolina.
around the corner of the witch doctor was. You're
Red.
exactly right. And I'm not wild about it, to be honest with you. I'd have to see what kind of shade of red she's looking at here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
partially painted.
She got ahead of herself, did she? Who?
Oh, so we can just ride by and see it.
Right, if you'd like, I could run down there and take a photo of it, of the current shade on there. as
Oh,
well.
don't worry, we'll go by there on the way home.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Easy to do, thank you. Well, accelerated review.
Do you happen to have a little piece of the color?
I don't, not on me. Let me see if I can find something on here. Let's see.
John, I don't have my binder. To do an accelerated review, or are we going past conceptual? There's really no requirement for conceptual because it's just paint color.
It's just a color. It's basically a little tiny chunk of final.
It's effectively going to be, again, I don't have a photo of it because
Would you describe it as a dark red or like fire engine red?
in between. I wouldn't say it's fire engine red, but I wouldn't say it's also a burgundy or anything like that. Conceptually, let's see.
Do you have a name of the paint?
I do not. Was it put on the application on there?
It is?
Was it? Is the question?
I didn't see it.
So I think it would be closer to that shade, but again, I can go over and take a photo of it
She
right
said,
now.
we'll attach an oval sign that covers the Italian flag to the patios. The only thing she talks about with Alfredo's restaurant.
Right, and that was done by Michael, who's he's obviously one of our tenants as well for the building.
Red building is a lot.
That's
Yeah, I
a-
really need to see the color.
That's
a lot.
amazing.
I need
Yeah.
to see a little more what that'll do, so.
Right, I understand.
And if she's already started doing that, she needs to know that that is subject to being,
Well, no, it is.
Repainted or whatever.
That is why we are here. It was subject to penalty, and she was docked for that for the violation. Obviously, of going against what the original intent of the permit was, which was a white with red stripes, and now it's
Just text her and see what the color is.
Yeah.
Because then we can just look it up on our phone. I mean,
yeah. And I apologize. She would be here. She basically broke her back effectively. So
What? Don't text her then.
No.
Who else? Who
She's
else?
fine.
Who's doing the work?
Oh, I am, and a variety of other managers over there at the office. But she's
You guys are out there painting.
no, not painting. No, God.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
who's your
Whoever's
contractor?
doing the painting would know what the SW number, what the Sherwin-Williams number of the paint is?
I believe Gabriel Iglesias, so not Gabriel Iglesias, Gabriel Pineda. So let me go over and call him right now. He can give me a color.
Do you mind, we're
No, that's
diverting a little bit here?
Somebody noticed that they had already started painting and the city did issue a stop work order.
Yes,
So the
yes.
top of it is currently red and the bottom of it.
And that's the color that she would like
Yes.
to have the rest of the building?
Yes, yes.
We'll just have to take a walkabout here.
Absolutely. I got,
Still a field trip, but
Yeah.
get the number, get the shirt, if you can get that color, we'll be able to call it up in a,
You're saying they painted the whole second story?
Yes.
they've started.
yes, they started on that. Again, it was basically a miscommunication. She thought she was cleared to do that. It obviously was not. That wasn't the case. And that's on us. We obviously made a mistake on that. Let me call him right now, though, real quick.
Okay.
So,
Is it all four sides of the building
Good question.
that we're talking about?
Is it just the
This is,
front?
this is what we have.
All the way around?
Yeah.
See what it say in her little letter?
I think,
Hey, Gabriel. Yeah, quick question for you. For the building, what is the name of the color that you use for that building? That's right. Yes. Yes, sir. The color of the paint. Yes. Yes, for the red on there, the red color on the on that. What would that be? The shade you call it on that? Showstopper, you said? Showstopper red is what you're saying? Okay, showstopper red, and the white is regular white
sounds
red.
beachy. Just kidding.
White flower is the white trim. Okay. All right, and that was that. And were you contracted for the whole building or the front? Whole building. Great. Okay.
Did everybody get it?
No, I haven't looked yet. You got it?
For the blue,
Sorry.
you said blue.
It's kind of a brick.
Let's call that halfway to, yeah, it's kind of brick, halfway to pink.
Okay.
Between, somewhere between red and.
And that's called
Okay.
showstopper.
Thank you very much. That's what I need to know. All right. Thank you.
It's
Showstopper red. So
7588.
I may have been a little bit more neutral in my description of red. So let's see. Showstopper red.
I mean, it's definitely, in 2 years it'll be pink. Right? That color won't last in the sun.
Right.
I think pink might, will be better.
Oh, no.
You don't like pink?
No, we're not doing,
Florida's
we're not
all-
doing huge two-story pink buildings here. No.
There's one across the street.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I have to like it.
I
That
think
would
City
never
Hall
get
is
painted
pink.
in, so.
Isn't it?
There it
Isn't
is.
this building pink? It used to be.
It's kind of a.
It used to be like
beige.
shade.
Is it? Salmon?
Salmon. That's a,
Salmon,
a very
okay.
kind
I thought
word.
It used to be, I know, it was salmon before and it faded to pink.
yes. Yes. And then the white flower for the trim is what they were going for with that.
And are there all these vertical pieces of trim here?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. The original trim was obviously posted with
So, let me see if I'm interpreting this correctly. Sure. So on your draw, come on up here a second.
absolutely.
Gotta work with me, I'm older than these guys are.
Oh, no, it's okay.
All right, so all these vertical slats here, that's all gonna be white, all the divisions between the,
Let's see.
I think that's what Alan's getting to. What part is the white trim going to be? Where?
White trim's going to follow along this line right here.
Okay.
There's each of these individual slats right here, according to this drawing, are going to be white. Now, if we want to change this to where the central line is white and then these internal slats are red, that can happen on there. That's not a problem. But basically, the division lines, it was originally just shiplap or
It's
really
T111, 8-inch T111. So
yeah.
There's none of that trim is there.
That's no longer there. That's been posted over because the original wood was just gone.
You're saying that this is now how it looks.
Well, the original, I forgot what it's called again. They basically put a shell around the original framing of that building. It was,
They resided it.
yes, they resided the building. That was done 2 years ago with
Okay,
a,
and this is just an old.
that's an old picture, yes.
I gotta say, the white with the red trim, the old building, I think looks a lot nicer.
This is white on white with a red roof, right?
That was
This is the
that
old
was the
building.
tin roof.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think that's my opinion.
Yeah.
It looks a lot nicer.
And this building was actually green.
Originally.
Red-
Now it's a
red
nice
trim.
shade of contractor's yellow, currently.
Oh, it is.
Yes, just the original, no paint on it minus what is already been painted.
Wow, red building.
I hope
And
this
the
guy didn't
shingles
buy
are-
all the paint
The
already.
shingles
Yeah.
are staying weatherwood.
Sorry.
The shingles are currently weatherwood.
Shingles has actually been, yes, the shingles remain the same color, yes.
Okay.
Again, this can be painted, these right here can go red. This can be maintained as white right along here. The frame of the door could be that shade of white as well along here. There's 3 doors. And then Alfredo's sign would be put up over here as well, which is the restaurant on that side. And this would be the laundromat and our office on the far left corner.
Well,
That's wild.
Yeah.
I need to look at it a little more what this is gonna look like in terms of the scale and the size of it over there. And I have to apologize, I did not walk and go look at the building.
Why?
This was an add-on to our agenda. to be honest.
Yeah, it was last minute, it was. I did appreciate y'all adding us to the agenda on there, so with such quick notice. If y'all,
That color is a bummer. Don't you think?
oh, sorry, sir?
Don't you think?
It wouldn't be my first choice, but,
That was politically correct.
That was
yeah.
well done. She's probably gonna look at the view.
Good job.
Right,
Good job.
but it is her, it was the one that she wanted to change the color to on there, so that's,
Well,
that was,
she can ask.
yes.
We don't necessarily have to,
I mean, I don't want to.
obviously, we don't have to approve it tonight.
No.
I mean, color is so subjective. I don't want to, but man, it's extreme. I think, given the
Size of the building.
size of the building,
You
the
could see it, you
flatness
would
of
definitely
it,
see the building.
the roof color brown and burnt red, kind of like a. I mean, wow. What do you guys think?
Wouldn't be my first choice.
No, well, I'm inclined to ask you to come back with a different set of color options
Okay, sure,
to include the building itself and the trim.
right.
And then
This
maybe-
combination to me is not one that's in character with what we feel like our charter is to do
Okay, sure,
as a design review board for the business district.
sure, I understand.
And that building it's fairly sizable when you get in the street and look
Yeah,
at it.
6
It
units in
goes-
total, you would see it from the street, yes.
it's a long building. I used to go all the time to the witch doctors eat.
Yeah, that was a shame.
Or you can take a picture and import it into SherwinWilliams.com's website,
Sure,
and then click on it and it'll make the rendering for
much better than that, yes.
that color. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, then we'd know what it would look like. But I think if you did that with that exact color, you would not like it.
Well, I kind of agree with your position on terms of what it's going to turn into with weathering, turning pink into weather.
Well, let me
I think
also
that might be better, but then it'd
Well-
be pink and brown.
Let me make an observation for you too. I would like to have a perspective of what left and right of this building looks like too now.
Yes.
Now, I can go look for myself.
Sure, well, I
But
can,
you have 2 members of the board that aren't here tonight.
Right.
You're going to start all over with this process, trying to explain to them, well, this is where this fits
right,
in the block, conducive to the color schemes and everything else around it.
Sure.
This to me is a little bit of a sore thumb sticking out, and
What's
it's,
the visibility like on the other side too, right?
I don't know what the back of this building looks like.
so the back of the building is, the original green, so the front, let me rephrase. The original back has got the original wood on it. The front,
Okay.
the sides have been replaced, from what I remember. Yes, the sides and the back have been replaced, just not the back side over here, it's still that original green. So that would usually be painted over, with the same color scheme accordingly, but that drawing is obviously only of the front, which we are not showing.
But your object though is to have the entire building repainted.
Yes, that is the
Makes
object.
sense, I mean,
Well, I'm
it
not
does,
disagree with that.
it definitely looks like it needs some help in terms of that aspect of its maintenance, right? Is Lauren okay? Did she
She
have a car
she-
wreck or something?
So, we don't really know how it happened, but effectively she went over and broke a part of her vertebrae off. It caused her not to be able to move
Oh my
since
gosh,
the beginning of our season. We've operated our entire summer actually without Miss Kennedy
Okay.
there.
wow, that's
Which
serious.
it's been dragging her. She does not like that at all. But
She's
the,
in a ton of back pain. Then.
yeah, she's doing better. She's walking around currently. You know, she's able to go up and down the stairs again, which is good. But she's working mostly remotely or via email. You know, small stuff like that. But she has not been back in our office since about June the 3rd,
Wow.
approximately.
Okay,
All information has been relayed basically between managers and agents and all that in between. So.
yeah, tell her we said we hope she feels better.
I wonder how this is working on her. Didn't she have planning and zoning? Isn't she the chair of that?
She is P
Sure,
and Z.
planning commission.
I'll get a streaming camera for her if that's but
I tell you what. I tell you
So is this building visible through the parking lot of the washout, or is it in the next door by the
You-
by
so
the
There's
laundry?
an alleyway there that you can see through to the
So-
back of this building.
yeah, it's not a full view, but you can get a partial view from there.
There are residences on the back side of that, if I recall, right?
Yes, we have 2 tenants upstairs, and a third is a separate sales office right above our office.
Oh yeah, that building. Okay.
So it's kind of, you get a partial view. It's not a direct like blam view of it, but you do get a partial view from the Lost Dog, partial view from the washout parking lot, and then a little bit off of Woody's when you're looking to the right corner. Obviously, if you're looking that way towards the building.
Okay, so you know what we're asking for, right? In terms of what we need to have a little bit different palette in terms of what the combination of colors might be.
Yes. So
Let's do a little better rendering
yes.
if we can color-wise. And I think Alan's point of being able to go right into the Sherwin-Williams website is pretty clever.
Sure, and I'll give you copies of the samples of the paints as well, just make it more professional than what it's looking like right there. And I will also take rendering shots of all corners of the building so that you would have perspective, and then also obviously you can make a
So
better,
the three
make a more
cer-
educated
And
decision.
we can get by there. I didn't, you know, she actually kind of missed it on the update of the agenda and didn't get to go by there, but
No,
I didn't
We'll
notice
roll
that.
by it.
Okay.
Again, we just appreciate y'all letting us
Go down that street.
All right,
cool.
to start.
So what do we have to do right
I'd
now?
like to make a motion to
Continuance motion?
defer.
Motion,
I think that's correct.
Whatever you say.
I think we want to take this agenda. I make a motion that we defer accelerated review of this particular request pending clarification and amplification of the colors, color options, and anything else that you took out of this conversation, Ben, so that you can be us for a minute and say, what would I want to see?
Of course.
What would I want to hear? If I'm trying to come back and take what is a fairly large building and make it a whole different profile. And
Yes,
that's what this is.
it is, yes.
This has nothing to do with what's there.
And I agree entirely. I'll present that over to y'all. When will be the next period we can come into the review board?
That would be the July meeting, which is, I'm sorry, August.
it's like August 15th.
August 15th is the third Monday.
Third Monday. That's perfect. It's the end of our season. We can actually breathe for 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2
Fantastic.
seconds is
Yeah.
a good way to do it.
Summer's over on August 15th, I didn't know.
At least in terms of our calendar schedules, we start reducing our rates and going into more of a. It's when school comes back.
Well, school's back in.
Yeah.
That's what is the giddy.
Yeah.
I see. All right,
So we have.
second,
Okay. Then Mr. Fink,
Yes. For that.
for motion to defer.
Not for the colors.
Motion to defer.
As the motion was elaborated to
Yes.
you,
Okay.
and for Ben to go get the amplifying information.
Okay. Mr. Kinter
yes,
and Mr. Vandenberg.
Yes.
Patrick,
thanks.
can you spell your last name for me?
Hampton, Hampton.
Okay.
Thank you, man, appreciate your patience and, yeah, somebody needs to sharpen this crayon, whatever they were using for, I got 3 different shades.
Well, I'll tell you, I actually came back from a septic call. Like I said, we have a overflowing septic line on the far east end, and they're like, "We need someone to go there right now." Like, okay.
Thank you, I got my hip boots on, or what?
Yeah, right. Now I'm gonna go back and do some line work, so that'll be fun.
All right,
Thanks.
All right.
Thank y'all. All right.
Okay, the next agenda item is if you would review with us for a moment whose terms are up when. Because we do have members that fell in on existing terms. So I think the 5 slate as it sits now, I know you have that now, I don't have it with me because I didn't go remember.
I have Mr. Rideout is 2024, Ms. Burkett 2024, Mr. Fink 2023, Mr. Kinter 2023, and Mr. Vandiver 2023.
I think we can
So the
move,
terms themselves, sorry about
we can move, this Joe Vandiver character to 2022.
yes.
Yeah, they've already advertised for his position. So,
This would just be the chair position. Your actual term on the board, we were all continuing except for Mr. Vandiver, who we hear topics.
right, so all we're doing is asking for the next year where we want to go. I had made, in your absence, Alan, an allusion to the fact that I think I'm probably stale in terms of what I bring to the board as the chair. And with only a year to go anyway, I thought maybe you would want to take an opportunity to guide the ship for a year while you and I coast to the end of our terms. You may want to jump on by then, you might be running for mayor, I don't know what you're doing.
No, I don't.
You may stay on the board. I mean, you and I have been on the
I'm not
board, I
gonna do
think about the same length of time. I mean, Gary Brown was still chair of the board.
that.
We can-
Seems like, you know, like, that's fine, whatever you guys want to do.
So I have a motion.
Is that a motion
Is that a
to,
motion for?
well, I'll make a motion that Mr. Kinter assume the chair of the design review board until the expiration of his term, or until next year's decision to do it again.
Sure, it's in the ordinance that we do chair before August 1st.
You
So
know what, see, I don't know, how
did
did
it
I
like
get re-upped the last 6 years?
We did
I
it
must have missed the
5 years
meetings.
ago.
I must have been at that meeting.
It's a loose, it's kind of a loose.
So I'll second that motion, whatever, exactly what it was, I'm not, you know.
Yeah, I know,
But I get the
Scott
gist, I
didn't
get the
feel,
gist.
I've had a little off the, you know, Karen has made it explicit that she will not serve as the chair. And she's on this board until 2024. I don't know, I know we've advertised for Joe's position. Do you need a formal resignation from him now prior to the August meeting, or are you gonna make the August meeting?
I intend to.
Okay. So I know that I did pass the information that you sent me, thank you. That on the Folly Beach website, there is the application solicitation for an opening on the design review board. And then it points you to other locations to talk about what the board does. And this gets back to one of the discussions we had with Aaron Pope 3 years ago. Why the decisions, or why the ordinance stipulates that you need to have a realtor, you gotta have, because some of those things are a gigantic conflict of interest for what we're trying to do.
It
for the
doesn't say you
business.
have to.
No, you're right, it does not. But as you will recall, the precedent had been that they always tried to do that. With the exception of, now Karen's
She's a planner, she was a planner.
she's a land use planner and you're the architect. And everybody else on the board right now is pretty much serving as general, if I recall.
Mr. Rideout, mechanical engineer. I don't know if that's one, I don't think that's one of
That's
those.
not one that's
That's just
listed
what I
as
have
being,
on my form
as
here.
being as a preference.
Alan's an architect.
It does say give preference to, Alan, that's what the ordinance says.
Right, I mean, it's not that easy to get people, so I don't think there's ever that much of a choice.
And it's not like this is this board doesn't come up with nearly the decisions island-wide boards have to address. So it's not overly burdensome. Alan has indicated he'd be willing to entertain it potentially, so.
Well, we have a motion and a second, so would you like a vote?
Call a vote.
All right, Mr. Fink.
I vote in favor of the motion.
Motion to elect Alan, okay?
That's
Mr.
correct.
Fink, yes. Mr. Kinter?
Do I have to vote?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Seems odd.
And Mr. Vandenberg?
Yes.
It does, doesn't it? And this is not a paid position, so you don't get, there's no bonuses involved.
No, I didn't know that. You said something about Pam? You know someone named Pam?
There is somebody that's interested in applying who is well qualified, also has a realtor license, but does not actively do it here. She's more remote. But anyway, I believe she's already submitted her application.
Oh, she has? Oh, okay, cool. Because usually we have to bug them, you know.
Well, this is a case where she has an interest, and I know her personally, and she's got a very good professional background and
Sweet.
very involved resident here.
Okay.
So maybe,
I haven't seen it. I'll check with Wes. That's who they sent it
apparently
to.
this still has to go to the council for their determination. Now, I did talk to the council, personally sent them individual emails, not in this case, but on prior years when we had new people that have applied. And I gave them as chair, and they having experienced the years on this board, I thought this was a good personality fit or a good professional fit or whatever it was. And sorry, Joe, they picked you anyway. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plans go awry sometimes.
But the last thing, this being a smaller board is the last thing you need is to have a contentious cadre here, because then you get into issues that are not relevant.
We have had some people in the past that were not very nice, and it was laborious getting them removed. I mean, it took a while, and it's totally counterproductive.
Yep.
So that is one thing we'd like to avoid.
Well, as far as timeline, since you'll be at the August 15th meeting, council meets August 9th, so it won't be able to, it will be the September meeting before council will be able to bring it up. So it'll be the earliest it'll be the October meeting. We have another member on the board.
And I'm definitely,
Would that change if I did not attend the August meeting?
Probably not, because we've already started working on the August 9th agenda, and I don't know that we can get it on there before then.
Okay.
We only just started taking applications last Monday.
Yeah, I
So
don't
we give a
think
little bit more time for
So-
people.
Your timing's good if you.
Yeah,
can
no,
make
your
the
timing's
15th.
fine.
Okay, all right.
and
We
I'm
time this
definitely
knowing
not out
what
of
Okay.
we're
town.
doing.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
When do you out?
14th to the 17th, 18th, now maybe 19th. Depends on what happens in Virginia, but we should say something about how you want us to respond. Like, reply all, reply just to the board, so we all know what's going on.
Sure.
Or just reply to you so that you can tell us
Well, I
what's going on.
track it, so if you just want to reply to me, I do track who's coming to make sure that I know beforehand if we don't have a quorum, so I kind of know some people.
Okay,
But if you'd like to reply all, so everybody stays in the loop, that's fine too.
sometimes there's.
I mean, I've heard people ask for us not to do that too.
Yeah, because sometimes there has been, I don't remember recently, but there has been like 60 people on the list.
So we have discussed this internally, that we're gonna stop copying council when we
Okay.
send you the email and let them have a separate email so that when somebody does apply all from the DRB, it only goes to DRB.
Okay, that makes
It
sense.
doesn't work on the show. So that shouldn't be a problem.
I will also mention that one of the things that, this for your edification, that when we call the roll to vote on a motion, you need to make that a rolling, who votes, whoever you ask to vote first, yes or whatever, skip that one the next time. And do it sequentially, so if we're voting on 5 different motions, the same person isn't voting first.
Right.
And the same person voting last.
Right.
That just kind of gives everybody a fair shot to.
We had
Be the
that
spoiler.
problem once where I had to be the deciding vote on some of them.
Oh, I know.
It was really odd.
Well, you tried to abstain, if I remember.
I did, I refused to vote.
So it ended up being a tie which failed, so.
It was funny.
I have a couple of things. Are any more commissioner
Oh,
comments?
no, we're not done yet
Yeah.
here because you still have your commission comments and staff comments.
Okay,
Staff comments, at the last meeting, Snapper Jacks was on the agenda, and Ms. Burkett's motion was to approve on the condition that the applicant clarify the colors as described in the application. And he did, and because he has a staff member here to speak, if you remember. So I spoke to the owner, and it would be what he wrote in the application, that the building will be blue and the trim will be white. There will be no red anywhere. So that, and then my second comment is that I'd like to remind you about continuing education. There is a requirement that people in planning boards do 3 hours of continuing education, and the municipal, you're exempt from this, every year, 3 hours, and the municipal association has an online program that you can get to from their website, or if you want me to, I can send out an email to everybody and give you a link. You do it on your own time, on your computer, but we ask that you complete those before the end of the year.
And there is a quiz.
I remember doing it last year. Last year we did it online instead of coming in.
It's every year, 3 hours.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to start it now because I always forget about it until like December 30th.
Okay, that's all.
Send that reminder out to everybody.
Okay.
I got the printed completion on one portion of mine and never got the other ones.
Yeah, they keep your transcript out. They'll print you a transcript out when you complete it, yeah. Okay,
All right, anything else, Jenna, at all?
that's all I have.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Third?
I think we're unanimous.
Okay,
Thank you for all your diligence here and
absolutely.
herding the cats.
So yeah, August 15th is the next meeting. We're gonna turn off our recording.
I will bring you my binder next month, which just has the definitions of each of the different preliminary, conceptual.
Don't do that next one because I'm gonna be in